Cracking the codes, unraveling the DNA, the cosmic history, unveiled. The Galactic Wavespell, gene keys, synchronizing the harmony as we rise and unite the 144. Hosted by Phinix Returns, Mondays and Fridays, 10:44 a.m. Eastern.
Let's go, let's flow. It's 185 red electric serpent today. And so we're just going to drop in and flow with a lot of information that's coming through. We're still in the transit in tropical astrology. I would say that's the planetary karmic astrology of Gene Key 45. And so I wanted to bring in the connection of how every single gene key is connected. Every gene key has a shadow, a gift, and a city, and they have animal totems connected to them. So the city is always going to be the bird, and the shadow is always going to be more of the underwater and insect creation, and then the gift is usually the land animals. And so gene key 45 is connected to the buffalo. And my friend Marcus just went to see, he saw a white buffalo the other day in his travels. And so I thought it would be perfect to show a picture of the white buffalo just for my little snapshot here from his video. And then, and then I wanted to just introduce you to how the gene keys are connected to the animals and bring you into, this is how I use like kind of the shamanic holographic totems of like when you meet an animal or have a dream with an animal. Like the Gene Keys has a program called the Dream Arc, and so it's usually in the dream time. If you have an animal visiting you, you can go and find out what gene key it's connected to and dive a little deeper into what that means. So this week is connected to the buffalo. River, hey, I'm gonna talk on here, right? If you want to talk to Papa, you go talk to him over there, right? You're welcome to sit with me. I like you here sitting with me. So let's drop into, just to get things started, let's drop into, and I want to go back to this actually, the dream arc, because a lot of times, first of all, we're in the 13-day wave cycle of the blue night, which is connected to dreams. And so I'd be paying attention. We're on the third day of this 13-day cycle. I'd be paying attention to your dreams that are coming through during this week and how they're connected to intuition and abundance. And to me, we're awake in the dream, right? There's no difference to me in the sleeping dream and the waking dream. And that's the whole point of the dream spell and the wave spell. This is called the Mayan dream spell, is to start to awaken to the dream right before you, to wake up lucid and to be a living participant in the dream on the daily. All right, so we're gonna read the kin of today, 185 red electric serpent. This is the galactic affirmation. And I was just connecting to my friend. He's from New Zealand, but he and a group of my star crew are in Palenque right now, about to head to the pyramids. And right here on 185 red electric serpent. So we are galactivating the prophecies of all prophecies, the convergence of all prophecies. And the galactic affirmation is, I activate in order to survive. Bonding instinct. I seal the store of life force with the electric tone of service, and I'm guided by the power of universal water. And so, the serpent is connected to the instinct and survival and the life force energy. And on one of the recent videos I did, I talked about all is fine when it flows up the spine. And what I'm talking about is that life force energy. And oftentimes that life force energy gets stuck in that sacral chakra. And people call it the sexual energy, but it's so much more than that. Let's not limit this infinite life force, God force energy, this fifth force energy to sexual energy. When we start to understand that, and we're not just chasing an orgasm out there or some kind of sexual pleasure, we start to realize that the entire life is meant to be orgasmic. And that is our birthright. And so my job is to help us remember such a truth, that ecstasy and bliss are our birthright. And it's not from anything outside of us. And that's what happens when you unlock the gates of heaven and you ring the bell from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. And you identify any of the leaks, any of the siphoning, any of the shortcomings of life force energy flowing up and down the spine. So all is fine when it flows up the spine. And when I talk about ringing that bell, you know that song? You can ring my bell, ring my bell, my bell. I want you to imagine that, like that honey nectar in your third eye. You know, so when you bring that life force energy all the way up the spine and it comes into the third eye and it starts to activate that pineal gland and that honey and that nectar. And that's where you get that honey drip, that nectar flow. And I use an example, you know, in the Avatar movie called The Way of the Water, there's a scene in there where there's like this big whale-like creature. And the military's going to this creature and they're taking like injectable needles and they're putting it in the third eye of the whale. And they're taking out this golden liquid from the whale's third eye. And they're selling it for billions of dollars. It's called Amrita, which is actually my daughter's middle name. I named her River Amrita, the river of immortality. Billions of dollars for that golden nectar. And so you know how the entertainment industry is the way that disclosure is actually happening, right? Because everything done on the planet has to be disclosed. And right now it's being disclosed through entertainment that you think is science fiction, but is actually real. Star Wars is real. For real. Yeah, so when you think about it like that and you imagine that you've got Amrita up here that's worth billions of dollars. In fact, it's priceless. It's beyond price. It is your ticket to immortality. So when we understand the prize and the gift of this Amrita, and we start to remember the priceless nature of who we are, and we remember that we are not for sale, and that it is your ticket to the remembering of the truth of who you are. Hearts of gold cannot be bought or sold. Hearts of gold can't be bought or sold. Yeah, remembering the days of old. So don't forget about that Amrita. It's important that we're all doing the work to take an inventory within our lives about where we're selling ourselves and where we're selling ourselves short of this eternal, priceless energy that is the gift within ourselves. So to understand that, to harness it, to build it, to save it, to protect it, this holy, sacred life force energy is a very important part of this mission. Okay, so now we're going to roll into the animal totem. And so we'll start with the shadow, which they call the underworld. I call the shadow the fear and survival dimension. The third dimension, you could say, of fear and survival. So when we're moving out of the fear and survival dimension, we move into the gift. And so here we are. Okay, so the ant is the shadow dimension. Which creatures will help you to serve, live, and work with others? And then we've got the buffalo. Oh yeah, let me go from the top. Are you seeking to control abundance or use it to serve the whole? The shadow of lake over earth can be a struggle over who controls the resources, the vision, or the tribe. When what the lake gathers is circulated through a receptive earth, there is abundance. Which creature will help you to serve, live, and work with others? And you can see that I Ching symbol up there, lake over earth. And then let's go to the next slide and we'll talk a little bit about each one of these totems. The ant, the fear of sacrifice. Ants know their role and surrender into it within the whole. We can learn from them. There are many pitfalls in human society. You have to balance individual freedom with collective freedom. Learning how to wield the power and how to yield the power requires a combination of empathy and self-esteem, listening and asserting correct balance and timing. Yeah, and I like to say we're moving from the I, me, my to the tribe. You know, we're moving from my will to thy will. So we're starting to move from what about me and my fear and survival versus the survival of an entire planet, the survival of an entire race. I remember one time talking about surrendering from I, me, my to the tribe, and someone, a rich white man, told me, I can't imagine that, surrendering my wants, needs, and desires for the tribe. Thank you for identifying yourself. This is something we all have to work through because it's not just about you, it's about all of us. It makes me think of that Michael Jackson song, What About Us? I've been watching it lately. He's kin number 143, Blue Cosmic Night, actually. What about us? Yeah, go watch that video. What a transmission. It's hard to believe that he did it so long ago and to think of how much more our world has descended from that point in time, because that was probably done in the 80s, maybe the 90s. I can't be for sure. All right, let's roll into the gift. The gift is when your heart is open, right? You're moving more into a causal plane existence. You're opening up that, you've had that breakthrough in the heart. You've moved from the shadow of constriction to acceptance. And that's one of the gifts and one of the keys to opening the heart. So we'll go into the buffalo. I'm drinking a little bit of this mango smoothie here in Costa Rica. All right, here's the buffalo, the life key of ancestral synergy. Wandering across the Great Plains, herds of buffalo remind us of the power of synergy. My message and the teaching of my pure daughter is to always honor the earth and all creatures and fellow beings. Consider holding a great gathering in your life. Bring together those whom you love and let them feast together in synergy. Yeah, that's what I call the breaking of the bread. In fact, we're on the 4th day of this code, and it's reminding me that maybe I need to have a little cosmic communion and a gathering. I mean, we are gathered here today, as Prince would say. But how can you commune with your family? And family doesn't always mean blood. You know, we're activating the planetary family. We're activating the Earth family, the star family. We're bringing all the tribes together. That's the goal. That's the mission. Welcome to everybody that's here. Feel free to drop in comments. I'm always happy to answer any questions. Happy to be interactive. Sarah, the key number for today, we're still working in gene key 45, which I was talking about on Monday, but we're on the red electric serpent today, which is about survival, instinct, and life force, as we kind of weave in and synthesize the gene keys and the dream spell. And so now we're going to move to the city, which is the bird tribes. That's when we're united with the divine. That's when we have gone through the sacrifice of the lower self to serve the higher mission. You're flying from the skies and you're seeing the bigger picture. You're in the tribal collective perspective. And this is the vision key of the communion of all beings. The ibis calls us to be a voice for divine union of all beings on the earth. Work always towards communion. This is the way of the highest beings. Ally yourself with the great vision of unification and communion. What is split apart in your life? Bring it together. So the divine union of all beings on this earth. And so, how do you get there, right? Because number one, and even when people talk about divine unions, like a male and a female coming together in divine union, that cannot happen until you've come into divine union within your own self, right? You first have to balance that masculine and that feminine, that mother and father within, in order to then manifest as within, so without, the divine union in the external field. This isn't just a fantasy, it's by design, but we've all got to do the work. And I highly recommend the book. It's called The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. I love that book. I mean, I love the Four Agreements too. His writing is it was very key to my awakening, Don Miguel Ruiz and the Four Agreements. One of the first books that kind of opened my mind. In the introduction of the book of the Four Agreements, I recommend, even if you've read it before, how you become a new person every single day and you evolve. So even if you've read it, when you go back, it's a short, easy read. It's you end up, I'm free the birds from captivity, get them out of the cage. Free as a bird. Oh, that song, Free Bird? Mama told me when I was young. Actually, that's Simple Man, but still, I love it. Yeah, so free as a bird, flying high. Can't deny. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, if you would, Marcus, will you pull up in the Ascension Glossary, one of my favorite resources, just plug in the white buffalo and see what comes up. My friend actually, he brought me this seed, my friend Andre. It's the white buffalo, wind rhythm. So I'm just feeling that vibe of the white buffalo while we're in the 45. Connected to that spirit animal. And I don't know if you guys know the story of how all the buffalo were slaughtered. I can't believe I never knew the story until I met my love, Eduardo. And then I looked up, the buffalo slaughter. I'm also thinking of Buffalo Soldier from Bob Marley. But yeah, there was a dude named Buffalo Bill. You want to get into some football? I used to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, and the Buffalo Bills were quite a rival. Yeah, there's a story of a man named Buffalo Bill that said for every buffalo dead is an Indian dead. Because the story is the Native American tribes used the buffalo and worked with the buffalo, millions of them, for all of their needs, their food and their teepees and all of the things. And so in the story that I was reading about, when you look up the history, they invited all the rich white men through trains with their muskets, and they were welcome to slaughter as many buffalo as they wanted. And there were just piles of dead buffalo. Piles, hundreds, thousands. Yeah, so when we talk about communion and we talk about divine union with all, part of that is seeing animals as living beings just like us. There's no difference to me in shooting an animal versus shooting a human. That's just real. So yeah, check out this image. Christos Sophia star. Christos Sophia, divine mother of all creation. And so here's the white buffalo calf woman. This is from the Ascension Glossary. I'm going to read a little bit to you. The white buffalo calf woman is a sacred woman of supernatural origin, comparable to the divine feminine principle of Mother Mary and Kuan Yin. This is central to the Native American spiritual belief system, primarily held in the Lakota tribes, that was taken from the earlier Navajo Apaches as their primary cultural prophet. Oral traditions relate that she brought the 7 sacred rites to the Native Americans. Buffalo are considered sacred to many of the Plains nations, who often consider them linked to creation, medicine, and bringers of sacred messages from the ancestors. White Buffalo Woman is a story shared by different Indian tribes throughout many generations. Although the story has changed slightly depending on who is telling it, the overall meaning remains the same. The white buffalo brings peace. Yeah, and I'm thinking of the peace pipe. You ever hear the story of Sitting Bull? You'll have to look up the image of Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull, he would be in the middle of the battle, and he was the dude that would go up on the hill and just sit with his pipe, and smoke was his enemy. I always thought that story was funny and cool. Okay, Navajo sacred twins. White buffalo calf woman is the divine feminine principle, returning Sophianic consciousness or wisdom to the earth. Is the daughter of God made through the Christos Sophia genetic bloodlines through Aqua El, and is the spiritual emanation of perfect peace. Her male counterpart or twin is white Navajo, the divine male principle, the son of God made through, oh, here's Sitting Bull. Smoke weed with your enemies. We got to make peace somehow. So her male counterpart or twin is white Navajo, the divine male principle, the son of God made through Christos Sophia genetic bloodline, through Aqua El, or the spiritual emanation of perfect peace. And we'll scroll down and we'll talk about the Aqua El lineage. Aqua is my favorite color. I don't know about you all. And I always say the Aqua ray is here to stay. That's the 13 ray of the mother. So let's see here. Aqua El is directly related to the daughter of Christ's bloodlines that incarnated on Earth from Andromeda, the mother galaxy, and that this also an embodiment code potential for bringing forth the diamond sun body. It influences the potential of both male and female unification, sacred union. The progeny of Aqua El was brought through the human tribes that became the male and female twins, known as white buffalo calf woman and white Navajo, as the direct descendants. Wopi, spirit of peace. In Lakota mythology, Wope, I might be saying it wrong, so forgive me for that, is a spirit of peace, the daughter of We and the moon. Hai Pepe We. She is the wife of the south wind. When she visited the earth, she gave the Dakota people a pipe as a symbol of peace. Later, Wope became conflated with white buffalo calf woman. An alternative name for Wope is Patayan Kalaswin. As a symbol of Wope's coming to Earth, she is often associated with falling stars. With the arrival of Roman Catholic missionaries, their Bible stories of the Mother Mary and Jesus became associated with the legend of white buffalo calf woman and white Navajo. The syncretic practice of identifying Mary with Sasangwi and Jesus with the Chanupa continues among Native American Christians to this day. The Chanupa is one means of conveying prayers to the Creator and other sacred beings. White Buffalo Woman brought the Chanupe to the people as one of the 7 sacred rites. to serve as a sacred bridge between this world and Wakantanka, the great mystery. That actually makes me think of the Tonkawa tribe. I came from Round Rock, Texas before I moved here to Costa Rica a little over 8 years ago, and I was studying the history of the lands there that were settled, and there was a tribe called the Tonkawa tribe. And actually, if I have time, I might talk a little bit about the activation of that chrism oil. You know, when we talk about the life force energy and all is fine when it flows up the spine. So we'll see if I come back to that, the Tonkawa tribe. So the birth of white buffalo's significance. The Native Americans see the birth of a white buffalo calf as the most significant of prophetic signs, equivalent to the weeping statues, bleeding icons, and crosses of light that are becoming prevalent within the Christian churches today, where the Christian faithful who visit these signs see them as a renewal of God's ongoing relationship with humanity. So do the Native Americans see the white buffalo calf as the sign to begin life's sacred hoop. The arrival of the white buffalo is like the second coming of Christ, says Floyd Hand Looks or Buffalo, an Ogala medicine man from Pine Ridge, South Dakota. It will bring about purity of mind, body, and spirit, and unify all nations, black, yellow, and white. And so we'll scroll down a little bit more and see what else is going on here. And then eventually we're going to talk about the Aqua L sun, or the Aqua sun, Aqualine sun. White Buffalo Woman teachings. Some of the things White Buffalo Calf women taught included instruction about the love of the Creator and warnings of the traps of the shadows. She explained by using analogies about how creation was temporarily infested with shadows. You could say parasites. She instructed them to walk close to the Creator to avoid the temptations of the shadows, which were everywhere on earth and ever ready to pounce upon them. She warned that the shadows are always trying to lure them away from the Creator. She taught them to be ever diligent and strive to live close to the Creator. White Buffalo Calf Woman said that Earth was encased by shadows, but that one day the Creator would send her along with many warriors, the 144,000, including the 7 special beings that she called flying white buffaloes, to liberate the people from the clutches of shadows. She warned them about the watchers from the sky. She taught them to purify their spirits by not harboring hatred, jealousy, and deception. She taught that many children of the Creator were trapped here on earth by the shadows, which were assisted by the children of the shadows. You could say fallen angels. She told them that the physical body is only temporary, but the spirit lives forever and will one day return to the Creator. White Buffalo Calf Woman taught that while the rainbow colors remind them of the beautiful 7 powers and 7 lights of their true home. And see, I also relate this to Revelations in the Bible, talking about the 7 sacred seals and the 144,000 and the Gene Key 22, which lists out all of the 7 sacred seals and the future mystery school of the 7 sacred seals as a sacred text to assist humanity in the unlocking of the seals and the opening up of the rainbow body, which means we've got to purify that lower nature and no longer be a slave to the material plane. So the 7 powers and 7 lights of their true home, they should be wary of its outward appearance, because rainbows that are seen on and about Earth were made by the shadows. They are made from matter shadows. Shadows have limited the colors of divine brilliance and invented the pseudo form to fool the children of light into believing that rainbows contain the 7 powers and the 7 lights of the true creation. Although darkness has tried to steal the 9th and the 12th powers, it failed at these attempts. In every race and color, there are children of the Creator who are mingled with the children of the shadows. There are good men and women in all tribes and nations who daily mix with bad ones. There are good trees and rocks in all forests and mountains that exist in the midst of, and let's see, I can't see it because my picture is covering it up, but we'll see what it says when Marcus scrolls up. The bad ones. The white buffalo was pure and beautiful. It always followed white buffalo calf woman around during her stay with the people of the Navajo Apache. All the people loved the white buffalo and treated him with great love, respect, and reverence. They regarded the white buffalo as sacred. She explained to them that the white buffalo represented purity. That's the next code we're moving into, by the way, Gene Key 12, purity. The shadow is vanity. Vanity is the shadow, the polarity of purity. What is vanity? The illusion of the separate self. And I've been saying lately in my head, vanity is painful. Yeah. Okay, so the white buffalo represented purity, and that he was as a pure being as could exist in this land where shadows have so much influence. She said that the white buffalo would soon be threatened, and that this threat would test the band's love and devotion to the Creator. She explained that since the Creator's children wear many different colored skins and belong to many different tribes and races, she would return to any of them. She said she would come from the south when she returned to liberate them from the shadows, and that the sun would turn red and the earth would be in chaos. She produced a pipe that she said would be kept in the stead of the sacred pipe, which represents the collective soul of the earth. She instructed them to treat the pipe with reverence until she returned to retrieve the sacred pipe from the womb of the earth and liberate the essence of the planet from the shadows. And I want to tell you an interesting story, because one day I was watching a video about the white buffalo, and there was like this guy who is an Indian chief, and I can't recall his name. And he was telling the story that they all have great storytelling skills in the tribes, you know? And he was talking about how they had a sacred white buffalo. And he was saying the story like it was so beautiful and sweet and pure. And in the next moment, he was talking about how they shot the buffalo with a bow and an arrow so that they could enjoy it as a feast and thanked it for its sacrifice. And I'm just going to say right now, fuck all that. Sacrificing animals or humans. Talk about the shadows. Our histories have been riddled with sacrificing animals and humans. That's not even where we come from. That is the fall. Dodge the hijack. Honor and reverence does not mean sacrifice. We all have a sacrifice to make, and that's the sacrifice of our lower nature. You know, the shadow of Gene Key 45 is dominance. And as humans, we've kind of felt like we're in the top of the food chain, and it's just totally acceptable to just be slaying and slaughtering and eating. That's why I say eating meat is the remnants of cannibalism, which is actually still a very active and becoming even more open and obvious on our planet. And that's something I can't look away from, because I've tried. I've lived in the heavens where there's no such thing as killing and sacrifice. But we've come down to the earth now to start to talk about the shadows of this planet. And until we can actually call them out and identify them, we can't recognize how we are a part of the contribution of this shadow intention, this shadow agenda. I'm pretty passionate about this. And then actually I have a story of a woman who lived down in the south of Costa Rica, and there was a white buffalo born on this land that was being developed and sold, as all the lands are. People are selling Costa Rica and all of the earth like she's a whore or something like that. Who owns these lands? Paying taxes on them, paying governments for them, BlackRock, Airbnbs, all of it. There's enough to go around. So anyways, this white buffalo is born and it won't eat from its mother. And so they take the white buffalo and they bring it to her house. And she's trying to nurture it to life and feed it and take care of it the best she can. And she doesn't survive. Yet another sacrifice. I remember when she told me that story, it was on a full moon. And as she told me the story, I wasn't even on my cycle at the time. Blood gushed out of my body. And I was like, I don't know the story of this white buffalo yet, but I know one day I will be on that land and I will be able to see what's really going on there. And that's when I started to understand I was being invited into seeing with my own eyes how the Freemasons work and how they've been working for many years with land and territory and dominance. Nothing short of a new world order. The code to enter the gate on the land where this white buffalo was born, they had a numerical code in the gate. It was 1776. And don't even get me started about 1776 and these so-called founding fathers with their wigs and their buckle boot shoes. Don't believe everything you hear about history. I always say 1776, the death of Tartaria, in the attempt to cover up the secrets of the truth of these sacred locations, which are now called US government capitol buildings that actually have technology in them for time traveling. But that's another story. So let's go to the next part of this, the daughter codes from Andromeda. Oh, and my love is here. Eduardo's chilling on the side. Hi, baby.
Yeah, the buffalo more later.
You want to? Okay. Eduardo wants to share about the buffalo. I'm going to read about these daughter codes from Andromeda, and then we'll let Eduardo share about the buffalo. The daughter codes from Andromeda. Beltane, May 1st, brought us into a month of drudgery level astral work with a variety of projects involving the satanic forces. All blood sacrifice, all blood, all cutting is satanic. You know, one day I was like, satanic ritual abuse, SRA, what does that mean? You know, and of course, when you think of satanic ritual, you can maybe think of many different things, but I was like, oh, being born in a hospital and being circumcised and jabbed is a satanic ritual. From the moment we're born, we are unconsciously born into the shadow dimension of sacrifice. Dark mother purging, and the school systems and the government systems and the monetary systems, right? Feeding off of the land, the mother, the people, right? Anything parasitic in nature, self-serving, you know, service to self versus service to others, law of one, let's have some fun. That's the mission. It's super simple, super clear. What isn't a satanic ritual? You know, you go into the church and you're eating the flesh and drinking the blood of the Christ in your communion, whether you know it or not. You know, you think and then you're looking at a man hanging on a cross with blood dripping down his body. It's satanic ritual right before your eyes, masked as God. Don't be surprised, right before your eyes, the very things masked as God are satanic. So it's up to us to remember the truth of what it actually means to be connected directly to the source so that we have eyes to see. May all be free. Dark mother purging to the surface. Okay, so we're talking about a variety of projects involving the satanic forces, dark mother purging to the surface so that we could get a new access level of the cosmic mother of God aspect to be linked into the 1D through 4D areas, the butterfly patterns. The aspect that is available to us through guardian hosts is called Aqua L, the daughter coding from the Andromeda Gate. I feel this to also represent Sophianic consciousness, the daughter of God, made through the Christ genetic bloodline. This is an ascension hosting platform that is also a dispensation to help retrieve, transit, and heal bloodlines in this earth that had been marked with generational satanic insignias for binding astral traps and satanic ritual abuse related traumas of blood sacrifice. So far, it has been showing up primarily as Native Americans or Aboriginal people that had inhabited the landmass to be retrieved and transited. My particular awareness seems to be with the Navajo gates and the Navajo lines that connect into central Mexico with a massive crystal cavern underneath. We are connecting directly to Aqua L coding through Aurora platform. An ascension hosting area can be reached in through the 4D area now. My thoughts are now a deeper understanding. Go down just a little bit or back up just a little bit, okay? Timelines of the Egyptian timelines in the 18th dynasty that allow us new levels of, let's see, it's covered up a little bit, but it's fine. Aqua L connection to Akiya, Eagle constellation has many meanings of which I am learning about. An override to fallen areas of the Golden Eagle. One is that it is directly related to the daughter of Christ's bloodlines that incarnated on Earth, and that this also is an embodiment coding potential for bringing forth the diamond sun body. It influences the potential of both male and female unification, sacred union healing through the 777 ancestral clearing codes, even though it was described as daughter codes. Somehow this coding also has connection to the Egyptian timelines. See recent Nefertiti update, and that which was taken to the Ireland landmass after the Akhenaton or Akhenaten fall and murder. My feeling is that the precursor to access this coding was to attune to the Aquiline sun frequencies. And now this is the next stage of getting the plasma coding that heals the female-male unification onto the planet, along with addressing this insidious and horrific problem of the satanic beast marks, bindings, and the related kinds of SRA, satanic ritual abuse, that are perpetuated virtually in all the controller pillars of society. What I noticed about the Aquael is that it's a code and a transit portal for the mother, and it was able to clear generations of satanic bindings. 777 coding clearing ancestral lines to correct violet ray transmission without crucifixion overlay that had trapped bloodlines of the many Aboriginal peoples or Native Americans on the earth that are connected to these certain tribes, 2nd and 4th tribe, as well as other indigenous peoples throughout the globe. So I love how this sinks into the Aquiline sun, because yesterday we went on a mission, walking by foot in the mountain in my moccasins, and to say goodbye to our friend who was flying out this morning at 2 a.m. and to give him some documents to mail out or to bring to my family in the United States. And Eduardo said, babe, take a picture of the sun. And so I go to take a picture of the sun. And this was the rainbow that we saw after as we were walking back home. We had a nice little surprising shower that came through. But when I took this picture of the sun, it was pure aqua. And I was like, oh shit, here we are, Aquiline sun, galactic grids, line it up, right? Everything's confirmation of what's going on. We're from the future. We're lighting up these grids. We are unstoppable. We are here to remove all crucifixion implants and to end satanic ritual abuse on planet Earth and to free the slaves. Actually, I woke up this morning and I heard Juneteenth, and I remember Juneteenth, like the terminology. So I looked it up, and it is connected to June 19th, which is coming up. And it was talking about the freeing of the slaves and the Emancipation Proclamation. And so we can't trust history as it's been written, because it's all actually a trick to make us think that we are free from slavery, when this whole planet's been in slavery for a long period of time. Doesn't matter your color. Who isn't a slave right now to the lower dimensions, to the material realms? It is important that we identify where we've been selling our soul to the devil, however you want to call it. And I can't look away from the suffering of humanity and the people that have come to me to share directly their stories of being victims of satanic ritual abuse, which is why it's been perpetuated for so long on this planet. And so until people are willing and able to come clean, you know, to bypass these blood oaths that they've made and these blood sacrifices, that's what we're calling, we're inviting everyone to return to the light through transparency. Yes?
I need a beautiful.
You need a beautiful bag? I don't know where a beautiful bag is in this moment. Okay, let's jump into the Aqualine sun. Will you show that picture of the sun that I took yesterday, Marcus? So we got that rainbow bridge over the mountain. We got the roosters crowing. And then I wanted you to see when I took the picture of the sun, this is no filter. I don't even know how to use filters. And it was just like, boom, aqua. So I was like, Aqualine sun, the aqua ray is here to stay. And yeah, so now let's read a little bit about what we're being called into with the activation of the Aqualine sun from the Ascension Glossary, which was also mentioned as we were reading through the White Buffalo Woman. We are the cosmic disclosure. This is the cosmic disclosure. Open your eyes, dodge the hijack. Don't get hijacked any longer by these scary looking fake gray aliens. We are the cosmic disclosure. We are multidimensional beings. We have access to all the genetic codes within our DNA. We get to choose which archetype, which character. You know, are we working in the Christos? Are we working in the gray alien? Are we working in the mantis? Are we working in? And so we're here to unify it all, but ultimately we bring it all into the law of one. You're either service to self or service to others. And there is coming a time very soon where service to self will no longer serve you. Castles made of sand will fall. So I hope we hear that loud and clear and we remember that. And we hold that field of the pure heart's intent, because there ain't no shame in the holiness. All who have fallen are invited to rise. This is a time of great purification, and transparency unlocks freedom. And we are the freedom fighters. If there's anything worth fighting for, it's freedom. And we have a misunderstanding of what freedom actually is, because, you know, I grew up in the United States, and many, many times I put my hand on my heart and I prayed and I pledged allegiance to the flag and I sang the Star Spangled Banner, and I watched many of my close friends deploy themselves into wars and to witness, to be killers and to witness many deaths. And to see the PTSD that's been caused by such things. And I heard someone say one time, freedom isn't free. And so once again, here we are thinking that killing or slaughtering any human is going to be freedom. That's a fucking lie. You know, I had to die on the hospital bed to wake up one day and be like, whoa, I thought that the military was here for my freedom. I thought because of the military, I was free, but what does that even mean? I no longer consent to sacrifice in any form of human sacrifice, of blood sacrifice. Let me say that. I have sacrificed my lower nature. I have sacrificed the temptations of the material world. Those are non-physical sacrifices that do not cause suffering or death to another. So let's bring in this Aqualine sun. My picture doesn't look much different from that. Straight from Costa Rica, the final frontier, latitude 9, galactic 0 point, the heart of the Americas. The planetary body is nested within multiple blueprint structures that are contained within the 5 spheres of creation: planetary, solar, galactic, universal, and cosmic. The guardians of crystal star consciousness have been streaming plasma waves into all layers of the Earth's blueprint in order to raise her frequencies and to fully anchor the plasma infusions coming from the galactic waves of solar light. Guardian forces have been acquiring solar plasma light from the suns of Sirius B 52, then transmitting it into the first levels of aquiline healing energy into the Earth. This is also for the purpose that we can begin to receive and transmit plasma light directly from the Earth plane and on the surface crust. Prior to this being made available, starseed grid workers would leave off planet to infuse these galactic frequencies into the Earth body so that the human body eventually could connect with that same frequency. This has been successful, and now it is possible to connect with galactic sun frequencies right from the Earth plane. Plasma infusions have been made into the Earth core, which includes the process of weaving solar light from the galactic suns down into the Earth core sun frequencies, allowing the fusion between these multiple solar bodies to occur. Right, so we're building our body of light. And so it's taken some time for us to be able to purify ourselves to a point. This has been the path of ascension that I've been on since I was initiated, dying on the bed May 10th, 2016 in Austin, Texas, was to build this body of light and to release anything that was stored in the karmic field so that we could embody these frequencies here on the Earth plane. We don't need to leave our bodies. We need to understand how to purify our bodies so that we can hold these light frequencies. And in the Gene Keys, there's a codon ring called the codon ring of light. And it's actually about that. It's about that purification process and our ability to be able to hold light and to transmit light and to allow the light to purify and to sacrifice and to leave behind anything that isn't allowing us to hold those frequencies on our planet. In the past, we would short circuit our systems. See, we're moving from the nervous system to the electrical system of our light body. It's like a frame shift mutation. It's an upgrade to the divine blueprint. You're not going to get these codes from a doctor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are the galactic doctors here, and we are the guardians, and we are inviting you to understand this process and to prepare yourself. We have been preparing the way as messengers of the truth and of the light. And so for me, when I took that picture yesterday of the aquiline sun, I was like, we are here. We are here and we are coming out. And that's why I was singing yesterday. I pulled up Diana Ross. The time has come for me to break out of my shell. I have to shout that I am coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know, got to let it show. And then I actually brought up the notorious one, which is called Mo Money, Mo Problems. Anybody know anything about that? Okay, what is the next part of the aquiline? Let's read a little further down and see what we're talking about with this plasma sun energy galactivating on the planet, here for all. The manna from heaven. Remembering that we are plasma beings, that we are plasma bodies, that we are electric, magnetic beings. To really understand that. We have to understand that first, and we have to put on that operating system, right? We've got our hardware, our physical body, and we got our software. And our software is the programs that we're running in our mind. And so if we believe we're a human that gets sick and has disease, this is the two-strand DNA story, and that we have a general life expectancy of 80 years or whatever the idea of that is these days, and so we're like glitch in the matrix, break the matrix. So now we're putting on the operating system that says, I am an eternal, immortal being. So let's talk about this Mother Earth's inner sun. This has activated the Mother Earth's inner sun frequencies, which appear now as deep ultraviolet and blush waves of oscillating plasma light. The blue flame merge is from the 5D core in parallel Earth, and the violet flame is from 7D core in parallel Earth. Together they unite the ultraviolet blue light with their galactic sun counterparts. The galactic sun frequency has been transmitting from above and is now anchoring into the Earth core, gradually merging together and braiding completely with the Earth sun. The plasma light that is being generated is from the merge that occurred with the galactic sun, which is transmitting from above, while the Earth sun is transmitting from deep below. This complete connected circuit of the galactic plasmic light transmissions that is coming from the Earth plane is called the aquiline sun frequencies. And I like that image to the right. It says the crystal heart of Mary. Thus, the Mother Earth has woven her sun's frequencies from deep inside the Earth core while moving up and through the galactic layers, uniting with the galactic suns. Indigos, starseeds, and the Oraphim are the first waves of conduit for transmitting the ascending aquiline sun frequencies into the Earth. We are the natural conduit for growing these frequencies on the Earth surface. As we help to anchor these plasma infusions on the surface grid, this also serves to repair damaged networks or descending hubs. The aquiline sun frequencies directly stream the crystal consciousness coding into the surface. We are able to absorb these frequencies to collect and reassemble all of our spiritual bodies and parts, our complete diamond sun body and crystal heart. As we commune with the aquiline sun frequencies, these plasma energies will gradually remove all that is artificial or false. Make that declaration right now, and as you sit in the sun, you can invite the sun to remove all that is artificial or false from you. This is not a time of artificial or superficial anything. False kings of tyranny, artificial intelligence. There's nothing artificial about what I'm speaking about here. And so we use the solar rays to purify ourselves from this artificial phantom matrix that is deceiving in nature. And I'm concerned because I'm seeing people that are big leaders and messengers out there that have been talking about ascension for a long period of time that are all of a sudden starting to soft porn the idea of the transhuman agenda and us becoming cyborgs and robots. No, the fuck we're not. This is really important. There's a lot of confusion in the field. I remember the first time I saw on Gaia TV, which I do not watch anymore, and a woman that was an archaeologist talking about the Egyptian pyramids, all of a sudden out of nowhere. And this was in my non-dual phase where I just wanted to believe everything was perfect and everything was one. And in one dimension it is. But she goes, eventually we're all becoming cyborgs. And I was like, that felt like a full fuck no in my body. And so from that moment, I was like, whoa, what is this? This was about 5 or 6 years ago. And my heart was beating fast. And I was like, I am not a cyborg. This is not fear. This is fucking eternal Hyperborean memory coming in. So, to me, I speak of the Masons, I speak of the transhuman agenda, I speak of these things as if this is common knowledge and common language amongst the people. But I'm starting to realize that it isn't. And sometimes until you identify and understand that something's out there, you don't know how to protect yourself from it and to stay clean and to stay clear. And so there is an offense and a defense, right? And so understanding the opposing forces is important to staying on top. We are in a game here. And so, okay, let's see what else is coming in this aquiline sun and the crystal heart of Mary. The aquiline sun frequencies directly stream the crystal consciousness coding into the surface. We are able to absorb these frequencies to collect and reassemble all of our spiritual bodies and parts, our complete diamond sun body and crystal heart. As we commune with the aquiline sun frequencies, these plasma energies will gradually remove all that is artificial or fake, restoring our body and consciousness to reflect its true essence and divine nature. Right? Remember your essence, remember your divine nature. What a difference from the church teachings of all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. You are the divine in the physical form when you remember. The crucifixion implants have kept people in this fallen consciousness and this inadequacy and this guilt and this shame. Okay, so when the body has absorbed enough light frequency to prepare for plasma transmissions, and what I'm sharing with you today is a plasma transmission, the body is able to connect with and absorb the aquiline sun plasma frequencies. This is a spiritual body integration process which activates the crystal cells, both in the mitochondria and within the permanent seed atoms. During the process of divine light shielding, we can direct our Merkaba star with our consciousness to absorb and fill from underneath our feet with aquiline sun violet, blue plasma frequencies and direct them into our navel center, recoding the lower umbilicus and merge into our higher heart center to activate the thymus role in higher monadic functioning. Now, you know what? I always say the navel center, right? Each and every one of us, male or female, all share the same scar, and it's our navel, right? It's our cut from the mother. From the minute that we're born out of the womb of the mother, we are cut from her. And so the ultimate mission and the final mission is healing the wound of the mother. And so this is what we're talking about here as we bring this in, recoding the lower umbilicus, merging into our higher heart center frequencies. And the thymus gland, I call it your time traveling technology, your planetary high heart chakra. It's kind of behind your sternum. It's right there in the center. A lot of times what people call anxiety, when you feel that beating and that like fast pace, and they're like, oh, I have anxiety. No, this is your technology, right? So we've got third dimensional, 2-strand DNA, incorrect science, fake doctors, unhealthy, trying to tell people your thymus gland, you know, is basically you're born with it. And by the time you're 8 or 9 years old, it doesn't work. Oh shit. Hey, Gail. It's nice to see you. My sister, I love you so much. Yeah. So, you know, here we are getting diagnoses from people like, oh, you know, and if you look up the history of the thymus gland in science, and I was sitting with a doctor one time that came to visit me here, and he was like, oh, the thymus gland, it's basically done by the time you hit puberty. It's calcified. And I'm like, no, it isn't. You know, and then I see the Bill Gates Foundation doing children's thymus gland research. I'm like, I'm sure you are. We've got to know our body. We've got to know our technology. And like I said, a doctor's not going to be able to teach you that because they made deals with the devil. That's what the whole medical system's been about. Even the ones that are awakening to the truth right now, you know, have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and have lived lifestyles that demand that they override integrity in order to maintain a lifestyle, right? And to keep old stories that are not conducive to us turning on our 12-strand DNA. And that's how you heal yourself. When you remember that you have access to 12-strand DNA, and it's pretty simple. Purify your mind, purify your heart, purify your body. Sit back and relax, connect with nature, step out of the dimension of time. Your body is the healing chamber. Embodiment is the healing chamber. Embodiment of the Christed frequencies is the healing. That is available for anyone that actually believes it to be so. Otherwise, you would continually be diagnosed with the idea that, you die by the time you're 80 or fill in the blanks. You're never going to get the eternal life. What do you call it when a doctor prescribes you something? You're not going to get the eternal life prescription from a doctor. You're just not. So we're talking about this galactic DNA. We're talking about root origins. We're talking about the divine Christ, the crystalline body, the eternal nature, the ascension, the resurrection, the death, the rebirth, the resurrection. Here it is, right here. You don't have to leave this body. We can do it right here, right now. We just got to die to the things that are no longer serving us. All right, so let's see what else is going on in here on the Aquiline sun. Oh yeah, let's go with this. So galactic suns and beyond plasma frequencies. Karayasata Allah. Karayasata Allah. And bring them down. Right? Bring these plasma rays down. Do that now as we're talking about this. You can breathe this in and bring in the Karayasata Allah and bring them down to circulate anywhere into our physical being, anywhere and everywhere. Use the solar energy to purify the body. And that's what I like to do when I'm in the physical presence of someone, is like scan the field and use kind of the electromagnetic wave frequencies to kind of identify where the implants are, right? Implants and parasites in the body. And we just start to comb through and clean this field and extract these implants from the body. As we begin to integrate and unite with the galactic suns, we may bring the consciousness, memories, and instruction set of our eternal diamond sun body back into our crystal heart, which ignites our true nature to return us back into the consciousness of oneness. As more of our diamond sun body frequencies are aligned with the physical body, more and more of our consciousness memories will be restored. It is through the mother's perfect proton seed or cosmic egg, transmitted through the Aquiline sun frequencies, that creation can heal itself to its original divine blueprint. Hear the message here. Aquiline sun frequencies, that creation can heal itself. You can heal yourself to your original blueprint, your original divine blueprint. Through the beloved Mother Arc, we are able to access the galactic sun frequencies to create the Aquiline sun, which also is connected to the plasma light from the Aquarian races in the Andromeda core. These plasma frequencies are that which deeply heal us. The ascension cycle is about reclaiming the Christ and the Mother principle for the planet. That is what we are here to do in this ascension cycle, reclaim the Christ and the Mother principle for the planet by building the architecture, or I like to say star-architecture, for Mother Arc hubs, connecting to the Aurora and Aquiline sun and building triad communication stations to connect to crystal star architecture, star-architecture. The crystal core activation, plasma infusions have been made into the Earth's crystal core. I always say, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. May the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war, which includes the process of weaving an array of aquiline light and sentient solar vapors from the galactic suns. This allows us an interactive fusion between multiple Palladorian sun-star bodies that have recently birthed into our solar system network. This has increased the pearlescent color waves of the eye of God that are becoming interlaced into the crystalline lattice of Earth, stacks of interwoven chains that are connecting into the golden sun disk network. The blue rainbow galactic suns from the Aqualasha matrix in the heart of Andromeda are one of the galactic sun star bodies that have shown up for grid projects and are supporting crystal transmissions for planetary ascension. I am bringing a crystal transmission for the planetary ascension to you. Receive my love and this gift and this transmission as we brought in the Aqualine sun rays. They are available in the 0 point, in the no time, and the no space. We are here to resurrect the Christos Sophia. We are here to unite the divine family. And so while the topic of cosmic disclosure and UFOs and the same old story about like gray aliens in Roswell from 1947 is coming out, it's like, no, dodge the hijack. Here we are right now. We are cosmic beings. We are galactic beings. And we're bringing to you the galactic truth and the galactic teachings of our origins and the understanding that all war is galactic in nature. And so until we can equip ourselves with this cosmic disclosure knowledge, until we can equip ourselves with the diamond sun body, building the body of light, clothed by the Christ, right? The rainbow light body, protection and projection. This is what we're called to do right now. This means we're no longer giving our body over to be experimented on. This is when we say, I am the dominion over my physical structure, my light body, my starship. I am here to activate my divine blueprint. I remember I come from the Christos Sophia Mother Andromeda galaxy. There's no I'm not worthy here. Full self-love restored, full love for your body, full forgiveness for your body, full forgiveness for all others. And actually, I was just posting about, universal forgiveness. This is my book called, I have rose petals in it, so I don't want to. Time in the Technosphere. This is part of the Telectanon prophecy. And I wrote at the top, universal forgiveness. Let's see what it says in here. This is just a piece of it. It's under the Telectanon prophecy, War of the Righteous. Children of the day of truth, people of the dawn, people of the book, four square is my talking stone. Invisible its design, its crystal lacing of star histories, met in my human form. Time's special witness am I, seeking apostles of time to organize the day of truth into the revelation of God's redemption. Universal forgiveness awaits those who understand God's plan. A common time of 28 days, 13 moons, begun together at the appointed hour on the day called lunar moon, the first day of the second year of prophecy. Two solar faces are upon my talking stone, the one an icon of my solar shield, galactic sun, the other lunar sun, an emblem of the perfect lunar timing of Earth's solar orbit. Children of the day of truth, the hour of judgment has come for you. How much longer do you need to suffocate in the Babylonian exile of 1260 time? See that dimension of time, you are sure to die. Hey, come on in. I'm on a call, but please. No, I just
Could you shoot in there real quick?
Oh, I want to meet him. Yes. I'm about to finish up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Need information about stuff, because if you can get a little bit of it, I wants to know if you can, so we can look into it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll let you know all about it. So we're talking about stop suffocating yourself in the Babylonian time, 1260 time where you're sure to die. So we got to move into the 1320. That's the whole premise of the dream spell teachings, is moving from the 1260 to the 1320. 1260 is time is money to 1320 time is art. And this is how we restore ourselves to the eternal nature of who we are. Why not wage, is it not time for the war of righteousness to, okay, it says, my children are the oppressed. Is it not time for the war of the righteous to restore equality? Why not wage the war then that destroys altogether the old time? Why not smash the caskets of the Babylonian wine of fornication in a single stroke? Damn, I want to read more, but I have a surprise visitor here. The Holy Victory March. I'm going to read through this really quick and then we're going to close it out, right? Thank you all for hanging out with me. For those that are watching in the future, this galactic time capsule, please reach out if you ever want to do any one-on-one work, and always opening the gates. In fact, I just made a post today. July 25th is the day out of time in the Mayan dream spell. And so we'll be celebrating the day out of time. And we always have a gathering here where we play music and connect and do whatever we're called to do. It's about uniting the tribes. It's the Star Family reunions and the communion. So I'm going to read one last part of this. It's called the Holy Victory March. O children of the day of truth, people of the dawn, people of the book, in your origins you were one blood. Today the hour of judgment demands you become one again, unified in time. Who among you will join my apostles of the Telectanon? Already the gift has been given. Already we left for you the 1320 tool. And that's what this is. 20 tribes and 13 tones, 13 tones. That's the 260 that this is. This is a 260-day count. Already we left for you the 1320 tool, my sacred count of days, 260 kin, to turn the solar lunar wheel of 365 days. And when prophecy was vindicated at the conclusion of the 9th hell, we sent among you the perfect form of this gift, dream spell, containing the message of the 13 moons. But this was not enough. The 7th trumpet had yet to sound, and so it did in the 40th year following the discovery of my Uranian arc of stone. And now my prophecies are revealed. The Mayan apocalypse of kin 144, yellow magnetic seed, which is the kin that I represent, turns the 7th year of karmic destiny into the opening of the first of my 7 seals of prophecy. In this seal 4 square, all prophecies converge. The beast of the G7 stands revealed. The Babylonian Vatican is exposed. In the rainbow dream vision, 144,000 of the elect are called again to meet, gathering together in circles to listen, to sing, and to dance to the song of the Telectanon. O children of the day of truth, people of the dawn, people of the book, 7 is my sacred power, 4 square 7 is 28. The number that perfectly followed opens heaven's gates. Walking together the sacred 13 moon, 28-day way, you will be joined to God's command, a holy victory march of the righteous, to restore sacred order to this troubled earth and to recover your lost powers. 4 powers of 7 are given to you to be your comfort in the victory march. 1 power for each of the 4 perfect weeks, every 28 days. By the first power of 7, claim your power of prophecy. By the second power of 7, maintain your power of prophecy. By the third power of 7, proclaim the victory of prophecy. By the fourth power of 7, become the victory of prophecy. O children of the day of truth, 144,000 times 13 is an army of the righteous. Learn again the count of sacred time and join this army. O children of the day of truth, realize that everything about the old 1260 time has now become a garment of false being, a moral corruption, a banquet feast for the evil one. So to be continued, we'll be rolling in on Monday. Thank you all so much. Sending you so much love. We will stay in touch. Message me privately on Facebook if you're wanting to connect more deeply. And yeah, love you all. What's that? Oh, I
2023. Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending. Thank you from the Sacred Light Broadcast Network and Sacred Light Productions for tapping in and tuning in to all live and replay content, holistic, conscious, for your empowerment to tap in to the Christ light within. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember that you are the one that you have been looking for. Enjoy this content. If you would like to collaborate or receive production through myself, Marcus Crystallite, direct message or email me at marcustut23@gmail.com to discuss details. Wholeness and balanced love. Ashe.